Hi, I'm Pooja Kumar, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Well, we have this Pooja Kumar, and her movie is coming up, Vishwaroopam 2, and we genuinely hope that Mr. Kamal Hassan should be making more movies, because then we can talk to her and meet her much more often. A pleasure having you back on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you. Namaskar.
So every 2-3 years, 4 years
we see
now,
each other.
Yeah, and this is after Singapore, when you guys launched the promo of Vishwaroopam that we are meeting, and
yes.
You still look the same as when you came to our office
really?
8 years back. I think it was 8 years back.
It was 8 years back.
Wow,
I look the same. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, you look younger. Yeah.
Wow.
So first of all,
maybe you can like be on my shoulder every morning and say that you look great.
No, I need 100%, 100%. I can even come to Los Angeles for that.
Please.
All right. So what exactly have you been doing with yourself that's keeping you so happy and charged? And
I mean, I drink a lot of water, and I think I'm so lucky that I'm able to do what I love, and continue doing it. And I think it's, once you become complacent, you're not living anymore, especially as an artist. So for me, I think I continue to create, continue to write. I'm producing a short, which is being turned into a series. And now I think it's such a great time for women. I mean, it's like so many things are opening up just because of so many distribution avenues. So for me, I get to do it every day. So I'm lucky.
All right, and how do you react to this this entire phenomenon that you managed to just break into this entire Indian movie scene space, courtesy a big film like Vishwaroopam, and that too with Kamal Hassan? He's like he's a legend.
He is a legend, and I think we should celebrate him even more. I mean, the man has contributed over 50 years to Indian cinema, and he has done things where we had no facilities. At a time where we were doing film stock, there was nothing on our phones or anything. So, and he was making those interesting stories too. They were like very modern, very forward thinking. And for me, I mean, it's like karma or destiny. I must have done something really good in my last life. And he cast me based out of New York. He saw some of my work online, and I think I have done about 21 independent films and about 5 mainstream Hollywood movies and about 20, almost 30 off-Broadway plays. Doing that, I think, prepared me to work opposite him. Because there's no rehearsal time, there's no preparation, you don't spend time with your co-star to develop that relationship. And I had never spent any extensive amount of time in Tamil Nadu. I only learned in summer times I would visit Chennai and learn Bharatanatyam as a kid. Okay. But I never spent actual time there. So I think all of that work really helped me in preparing. And I think after we shot Vishwaroopam Part 1, I didn't know I was going to shoot Part 2. So during Part 1, we had no idea there were 2 parts. I'm sure he had it in his mind, but we had no clue about it. And then at the end of the shooting, he was like, look, I'm going to be doing Part 2 and then another movie. Would you like to be a part of it? And I'm like, yeah. And then I signed a 3-picture deal with him. And
did you knew Tamil by any chance before you started it? You didn't?
Nothing. Nan pesa murchi padren.
Oh, okay. That just totally went off. All right, so, but you learned. Vanakkam. All right.
Eppadi irukeenga? Saaptingla? That's it. Which is, hi, how are you? Have you eaten? And I'm learning how to speak Tamil.
All right, so how did you manage the movie then?
They wrote it phonetically in English. So what I did was I would take the whole scene and I would get everyone's dialogue. So Kamal sir's dialogues I would memorize. I would memorize Andrea's dialogues or Rahul's or Jaydeep's, and I would memorize the whole scene in Tamil. And I guess I was really good at listening to sounds. And then I just realized you're okay with doing gymnastics in your mouth, then you can speak Tamil.
Yeah, so when you say Tamil, so basically it is Tamil.
It's Tamil,
basically la and la.
There's 4 la's. Did you know that?
So now when you speak the language, so it's not easy, especially when you don't know it.
No.
To just learn it, because if you don't get that nuance right, so it's
it's tough.
And you can easily be caught because they can just.
And plus, I'm playing a Brahminical girl, right? But I'm born and brought up in New York, so it was definitely a challenge for me to kind of adapt to that. But I think, you know, my character's like, she's a little naive and then she's also a little modern. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons why he cast me, because I think maybe in real life I'm kind of like that. But learning the language with him, I mean, he guided me, right? Like, okay, these are the nuances, these are the pauses, these are the places where it will work for this character and not. I mean, he was guiding, like all of us actually, throughout the whole time. And that was great because, and then he would allow you as an actor to kind of make these choices for character work and bring these other nuances that I think he, you know, hires actors to do. And he welcomed that, right? Which was great, because I think a lot of people have this misnomer that, you know, he's really tough to work with. But I think he actually sees the actor work, and he gets excited, you know? And when he sees you make the effort, because he's taken so much time, right, to write these characters, especially female characters. I mean, if you see all of his movies, they all have, like, something to do in the movie. And especially this movie, I mean, I start off like, I hate my husband, he's a Kathak dancer, he's maybe gay, maybe not, I don't really like him. And then by the end, you know, I actually help him and do the heroic thing and be the hero at the end of like solving, you know, diffusing the bomb.
Right, and apart from being so many things, he's also very virile. He can be really, really full on actually, so which is wonderful.
I mean, you know, for me, it was also a great learning experience, obviously, because he's the writer, the director, producer, and then he was my love interest. So I'm walking on set every day nervous because, okay, how do I balance that? I've got to listen to him, obviously, as a director, and then I have to play the love interest where I'm kind of mean and annoyed and I don't really like him. So it was very tough. And to this day, I would say every day on set, I was very nervous when he came on.
So it's basically a continuation from part one. So you guys are continuing from part one.
Well, so this is the interesting part of this movie. I think you don't have to see part one. And that's what's great about the way he's written it, is that it's a standalone film.
Oh, okay.
So part one is different from part two. I mean, the characters are all the same. And so you get introduced to the characters, and then now you get to see them sort of go into their own zone. And in the first part, you know, we're all kind of like users. You know, my character's kind of using him to get to America. He's using me just as like a sidey person because he has his own. He's got to, you know, have his cover. And then in the second part, because by the end of the first movie, we see her sort of falling in love with him and having this respect for him because he's actually doing something for the greater good. And she's a self-absorbed, kind of selfish character. And then in the second part, she slowly falls in love with him. And she thinks she's a raw agent or like she's a spy or whatever, but she's none of these things. But she gets on board with all of them because she also feels like, okay, if he's doing something for the rest of the country, then I should be doing that too. And in the second part, I'm also really excited because I get to do my own underwater action sequences.
So, you've seen the making of that?
Yeah, and did you see it?
I've seen the making, yeah.
Okay, so for Sir also was the first time where he directed that kind of an action sequence, and you can only stay underwater for 30 minutes at a time because then, you know, you've got to keep neutralizing. And I'm a certified scuba diver, so he actually wrote this in and said, would you be willing to do it? And I said, yeah, of course. And then afterwards I was like, oh my God, should I even really be doing it? Because I've never done underwater action. And then it was awesome to do it. So I'm holding a gun, then you've got like an oxygen tank, and then we had a mic over our head mask because we had to listen to direction underwater. Because underwater you can't hear anything, right? So there were these special mics that we had to use to listen to the direction of action, cut, okay, go through the cannon, you know, go behind this like big like sets that they built underwater, go underneath, go above it, and it was quite an experience.
All right, so Kamal Haasan, the director, Kamal Haasan, the co-star, how's the experience? Like, how does he just manage both the aspects simultaneously?
I don't know. I mean, he's brilliant that way. I mean, it's just, I think because he was also, when he started out, I think because he was a dance choreographer when he first started, and I think the choreography and looking at things as a whole really helped, I think, in sort of devising him to like do the shots and kind of go from acting, go to direction. And that's something that I learned also, is that I was trained as an actor, not as a filmmaker. So I was looked at the character. I looked at, okay, where does she come from? Where does she want to go? What's her occupation? Is she short, tall? Like, does she wear glasses? What does she wear? And then, you know, what is her purpose in this movie? But now I look at it after working with him. It's almost like you have to look at the whole movie and see where this character fits in. And that's how I feel like, you know, you become a better actor. And I think with him, he saw it as he was a filmmaker before he was, you know, an actor. And so that's also where I think where he's able to transition easily, actually.
Right. So
and also working under K. Balachandra sir, and you're talking about Balu Mahendra. I mean, these are men who just were writing stories that were way ahead of the time.
100%.
So,
I think still is.
Yeah.
So many of that work is still far ahead actually, and because it's all about the writing, which is something many times that we don't realize. All right. So you've been an NRI and you've been living abroad, and so NRIs, they have this entire romantic notion about you know that
I'm American. I'm not NRI because I was born there.
I'm sure that you're born there, but you have your Indian origin.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So we'll
DNA to Indian.
We call everyone NRI actually. So हम लोग distinction नहीं करते हैं.
नहीं, good. हम भी distinction नहीं करते. So अच्छा है.
So yeah, so you've grown up on all those romantic Bollywood movies and Shah Rukh Khan. From what I still remember, 8 years back, the conversation that we had. So Shah Rukh Khan was something that used to idolize at that point of time as well. So when you get to do this conventional Indian dance, like not exactly dance, but song routine, how do you react to that?
I haven't had a chance to do a song routine. I mean, I did two in Tamil in a film that I did with Sir called Uttama Villain, but I haven't done one in Hindi yet. And again, for me, Tamil is like sort of, it's not my language, right? And that's not my roots, but Hindi is like Hindi, Urdu, like North Indian, like Hindi films is where I've been brought up, where I've like watched. And I don't know, I mean, it's kind of tough to say, like, I think they're great because they're musicals, and that's where we come from, is like a musical family. But at the same time, I'm also wondering where they fit in sometimes. I love the dance, I love the music, but I think it also has to depend on the story.
Sure. So now you've taken such a long time from Vishwaroopam 1 to Vishwaroopam 2. Do we see more such stuff, more stuff coming from you in the future, so that Indian fans don't have to wait such a long time?
Yes.
And for us to get the interview with...
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes, there are 2 movies that are going to be coming out in English, though, not in Hindi. So hopefully I'm going to be doing something later on this year. There's a couple of projects that have come my way just now. So let's see. I'll let you know.
Pooja, we'd like to end this interview on a rapid fire with you.
Oh, gosh.
All right?
Yes.
Okay, so rapid fire with Pooja Kumar. If you can react to the following words, phrases, or debates. All right? Patriotism versus nationalism.
Patriotism versus nationalism. I mean, I think you have to have both of them. I think it's important that we keep up with both of them, because that's the only way we're going to have our ties to our country.
Okay, Islamophobia.
Why is it needed? It's not even needed. No way. I think it's, far-fetched.
All right, Mexico wall.
Ridiculous. Again, I don't know why we're spending money on that, but hey, okay.
Okay, immigrants don't belong to America.
The country's made up of immigrants. That's a ridiculous statement, and whoever said that is crazy.
Even the wife as well.
Yeah. 3 have all been immigrants. Yeah.
All right.
I wonder if I'll be let back into the country again.
Okay, if you met the following filmy characters, what would you do?
Okay.
Okay, Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible 6.
Big hug. I would give him a big hug, because doing those action sequences is really tough.
Thor from Avengers.
Thor from Avengers? I would like him to teach me how he can carry that big thing. I don't even know what it's called, but his instrument. How does he carry it?
All right, Thanos from Avengers.
I want him to teach me how he gets those big biceps.
Okay, you managed to find something good in him as well. But yeah, he's a very interesting character, actually.
Very. I like it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So
because you kind of feel bad for him for some reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtext to him. Okay, and Kamal Hassan from Sadma.
Oh, a big hug and tell him everything is going to be okay.
Sridevi from Lamhe.
Thank you for saying that love conquers all.
Okay, Kamal Hassan, the director, or Kamal Hassan, the actor?
You're putting me in a tough position.
Yes, we are.
Kamal sir as the director.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay. If you have to say something to the Tamil industry, what would you like to say to them?
I would love to say to the Tamil industry that our stories are great and let's concentrate on making them better.
What would you like to be remembered as?
An artist who stepped outside boundaries.
If you could act in a biopic, who would you like to play?
Jhansi Ki Rani.
Okay, Kangana Ranaut is already doing that.
Yeah, but aren't there so many
100%.
movies on just one character?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But there's so many.
James Bond has made 10 movies on James Bond.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. All right.
I mean, that's not a biopic, but yeah.
Yeah. One director.
Ashoka, there's so many, right? There's like Ashoka.
Yeah. One director that you want to work with in India?
Shujit Sarkar.
One actor that you want to work with in India?
I have to choose one? Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay, your autobiography would be titled as?
International Woman of Mystery.
Okay, if you can describe the following people in one word.
Okay.
Andrea.
Talented.
Shruti Hassan.
Super talented.
Kamal Hassan.
Gosh. Legendary.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Charismatic.
Okay. All right, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back. I'm supposed to describe him? Oh, or say, what am I going to say to him? Amazing.
All right, he was the governor of California as well.
Huh?
He was the governor.
He was the governor of California, yes. So they called him like the governator.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, yes. Sylvester Stallone.
Energetic.
Okay, okay. If you woke up as the following people, what would you do? If you woke up as the following people, yeah. Alia Bhatt.
Scream.
Okay, Meryl Streep.
Give a hug to my dad.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. That's
if I woke up as Meryl Streep, first thing I would do is give a hug to my dad. Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Big kiss on the cheek.
Okay, Amitabh Bachchan.
Read poetry.
Read poetry. Okay, what will you do if you wake up as Shah Rukh Khan?
Dance in my bathrobe.
Leaving it to imagination.
Yeah.
Dance in the bathrobe.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of women, they would want that bathrobe too. All right, okay. And what will you do if you wake up as Kamal Hassan?
Oh my gosh. As Kamal sir? Write another script.
Write another script. All right. Pooja Kumar, thank you very much. It was, I think, a wonderful
knowledgeable?
Not the, just the entire imagination part of it, like dance in a bathrobe, Shah Rukh Khan. So many people have said so many things about Shah Rukh Khan, but no one has said this. No one has said this actually, which is like really interesting. So thank you very much, and all the best wishes for Vishwaroopam 2 and all your future ventures. And lovely talking to you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Hi, I'm Pooja Kumar, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.